We've scoured the internet to bring you the ultimate in life hacks, bonkers inventions and crazy contraptions designed to make your life easier, more exciting and definitely more fun. And we've summoned a team of experts with science brains and funny bones to explain everything. From the ridiculous to the sublime. And make sure you strap in for the grand finale at our very own Hack HQ, where we create and construct an epic stunt, our very own supersized solutions to life's problems, big and small, with the help of Mike Sansom, pyrotechnician, chemist and engineer, and his human guinea pigs, Marcus Bronzy and Stephen Grant. For now, sit back, relax and put your feet up. Let us do the hard work so you don't have to. This is how hacks work. This episode is all about food, glorious food. We found some of the greatest gastronomic hacks the internet has to offer to help you out in the kitchen. Without food, we would quite simply all die. So this episode is probably our most important yet.
It's a good job I bought the pumpkin pie.
Cheers.
But in tonight's episode, we give you far more than just the calories to think about. From drinks deliveries for the ultra-lazy, to explosive consumables, and even ones to help you wage war. We'll also be smashing pumpkins and creating our very own explosive cocktail in our epic hack.
Wow!
Now who, apart from dental hygienists, doesn't like fizzy drinks? This next hack will hit the spot.
Steady! Whoa! Look at that!
So the thing he's pouring into this bottle is liquid nitrogen, which is very, very cold. This is minus 196.5 degrees Celsius. Freezing.
When it comes into contact with the water, it instantly boils. And when nitrogen boils, it expands by a factor of 600 to 700 times. And that means there's a huge pressure built up inside the bottle. That pressure then forces the Coke or the water out the bottom of the bottle and it shoots up into the air at incredible speed.
Fair play to nitrogen. If I expanded by 700 times, I don't think incredible speed would be my forte.
This rocket is actually amazingly powerful. You can see from the video it goes off extremely quickly, and that's just because the boiling is happening so rapidly. If you do have an accident with liquid nitrogen, it's not necessarily the end of the world. So it causes a fine layer of gas above your skin because it boils so quickly, which will protect you for a couple of seconds before it actually burns you.
I'm going to try this as soon as I get back to the lab.
This ice-cold hack turns a cut-price cola into a captivating carbonated display. It's a hit! From pretty to pretty useful now. This clip shows you how to tell if your eggs are in date. You know, just in case you can't read the label.
If you put a good egg in water, it's just going to sink to the bottom, and that's because the stuff inside is more dense than the water outside. It just goes straight to the bottom and sits there. Eggshells are weird things. If you look at them with the naked eye, they just look like complete hard surfaces. But under a microscope, you can see they're full of tiny, tiny little holes or pores.
So why does the egg float when it's gone off?
When the bacteria get inside the egg, they generally start eating up what's inside and turning it into carbon dioxide gas, which doesn't escape that quickly, and eventually will make the egg rise to the surface.
So basically the bacteria is just eating the egg before we do.
This one, I believe, is a method used in medieval times to determine which eggs were rotten, so then you could go to the town centre when someone's in the stocks and not waste the good eggs that you throw at them.
I don't know about that, but I can see at least one bad egg around here. So whether you're a medieval peasant or you just want a pleasant breakfast, this egg hack is smashing. Lemon juice is great. Squeezing lemons for their juice? It's not great. This next hack makes that a lot more easy peasy.
Cut the bottom part of the lemon and stick the tube inside of it. Now you have instant lemon juice spray.
I'd love to know how much juice he's actually getting out of that.
I mean, it does seem like a good hack. I mean, I wonder if you'd get all of the juice out or if it would just literally be for the first bit of juice. If it really is an efficient way to get the juice out of a lemon or if it just looks good.
How many squirts do you get? I reckon maybe like 3 or 4 before you have to start squeezing the lemon and mashing it up. But I still think it's a great idea.
But I'm pretty sure if I tried it, it would just get pips stuck up it, and I would be so angry I would throw it against the fridge.
That's how roughly 95% of my attempts at cooking end up.
So there's a funny fact about lemons, and that is that they might be able to tell you if you're an introvert or an extrovert. Lemon juice supposedly makes introverted people salivate more.
So I'm dubious, but I guess I'll give it a go.
Come on, Andrew, don't be so introverted. If you drool during this, it means you're introverted. Either that or really hungry.
It's jumping from 2 to 3, somewhere between probably 2.5.
I think it's fair to say I produced a lot of saliva then. I think I probably am a bit of an introvert.
So what's the science theory behind lemons, saliva and personality? It might sound weird, but it turns out this lemon personality thing is all down to the good old reticular activating system, which I had 100% heard of. All of your senses apart from smell are wired into your brain via this region, and it acts as a filter, making sure that your brain doesn't receive more information than it can handle. It's also responsible for how you respond to various stimuli, including both social interactions and taste, in this case, lemon juice. If you're naturally introverted, then your RAS generally has a higher level of activity, which means you get a large response to even a small stimulus. Whether that be feeling shy when you're talking in a group, or squirting lemon juice on your tongue, or absolutely anything in between, you have an extreme response. In the case of the lemon, this means lots of saliva is produced. He's certainly an introvert.
It also just seems a bit bizarre to me that something as complicated and multifaceted as your personality could be linked to something so simple as the amount of saliva you produce when you suck on some lemon juice.
If you're a scientist and you can't understand it, Andrew, what hope have we got? We've certainly got our panellists drooling over this lemon aid. It's a big juicy hit. But how do we know which of these hacks are really worth your time and effort? Coming up at Hack HQ, with the help of Mike and his human guinea pig Stephen, we give a masterclass in pulverising pumpkins. And we use rum to create an explosive cocktail. We'll be back later with some of those fun-filled food fireworks. So far we've shown you the zest way to juice a lemon, and how to turn a humble can of cola into a splendidly stunning soda show. Now let's see what other food fun of varying levels of usefulness the internet has for us. Ketchup theft is the highest rising crime worldwide, based on some statistics I've just made up. But luckily, this next clip shows us there is a way to fight back on behalf of sauce lovers everywhere.
Oh, why did I ruin it by putting all that stuff on it?
I love mayonnaise, okay?
I think it's absolutely brilliant, but it strikes me as one that someone should do in someone else's house, not their own house. I think it's something that I would do even if I didn't think someone was stealing my ketchup. It just looks like great fun. But as I say, it would have to be in their house, not mine.
I just thought if he's trying to get her to break up with him, there are better ways.
I really love this hack. This guy clearly had a lot of fun.
But why was that such a sauce-some explosion?
Ketchup contains vinegar, which means it's slightly acidic. When you add something like bicarbonate of soda, there's a reaction that happens which causes carbon dioxide gas to form.
The pressure of the carbon dioxide builds up in that container. Then when this unfortunate person undoes the lid, that pressure is suddenly released and you end up with a bit of a big messy explosion.
So, once again on the show, CO2 saves the day.
Ketchup is actually a really weird food. It's an example of something called a thixotropic medium, which means it gets thinner when it's exposed to lots of force. When you open that ketchup bottle lid, it's forced through the tiny nozzle, and so the ketchup itself actually gets more runny, so it'll go further and spread over a massive area. It's a great hack.
I haven't tried to trick anyone that might be stealing my food, but I may possibly be using this hack on my housemate in the future.
If your friend is ahead of you in the prank stakes, this is a great way to catch up. An explosive hit. From close-quarter sauciness to a long-range pumpkin cannon now, this food war has just gone ballistic. It's as easy as pumpkin pie. Let's see that again.
So this pumpkin probably weighed around 8 kilograms. It was travelling at around 200 miles an hour. That's a massive force with which it's hitting that drone.
I like this one. I like this one a lot. I hate birds, and I feel like with the pumpkin thrower, you can kill the birds with one pumpkin, and that really appeals to me. And I understand that that's not super lovely to say, but they make a lot of noise.
I've got one of those, which I use to deter trick-or-treaters.
The world's largest pumpkin was more than 5 feet in diameter, and if you were to launch this pumpkin, I reckon you'd knock out a small aircraft.
It may have scored a direct hit on that drone, but I'm afraid this pumpkin cannon might be too much firepower for our daily culinary quests, so it's a miss. Over at Hack HQ, the lads are setting to work on even more pumpkin-related mischief. Oh, and this one involves dynamite. I'm not nervous at all.
Mike! Stephen, look at all these pumpkins.
I know, amazing. You told me to get some. I've got some, and it doesn't look like we're making a pie.
You must have known that, though, Stephen.
Not in the slightest, no.
What are we doing?
We're smashing pumpkins.
Great band.
Oh, we're going to blow them up again, are we? then?
Absolutely right.
And, of course, that shouldn't be a surprise to me. Why are we doing this?
I want to teach you the difference between high and low explosives.
Same thing, aren't they? Just bang and bang.
Completely different.
Why?
Right, so low explosives, they burn.
OK. And
Yeah.
we're not burning the pumpkins?
We're not burning the pumpkins today. We're going to blow them up. We're going to detonate them with high explosives.
Right, OK. And you'll just need my help making the S, I suppose?
Well, we'll put the rest of the pumpkins on to make the S, and
Fabulous stuff. Look at that.
then we're good to go.
Good. OK, so we're going to blow these up. How?
Right, so we're going to blow it up with deck cord.
Oh, this licorice that you're putting through
The
it.
red rope licorice, that's right, yeah.
OK, and this means I'm going to end up with a face full of pumpkin?
No. There you go.
Oh, just not my eyes. Great. You finish off, I'm going to go to a safe distance.
Brilliant.
Mike is threading 100 pumpkins with a highly explosive deck cord. Talk amongst yourselves. This may take some time.
Pumpkins primed?
Ready?
Ready.
The explosion's so big, you can actually see the shockwave spreading through it.
All right, Mike, that was amazing.
That really was amazing, wasn't it?
How fast is that going?
8,000 metres a second.
Oh, my word. That's faster than the speed of sound.
Let's go and have a look.
I know, I would have heard about it after it hit me. Well, look at this.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Where once were pumpkins, now tiny pumpkin fragments remain.
So that was only 600 grams of a high explosive, and it detonates pretty ferociously. The other side of the spectrum is low explosives, and that's what we're going to show you in the hack.
Not before we see those magnificent pumpkins smashing one more time. We'll head back to Hack HQ later with even more food-based explosives for today's epic hack. So far you've seen exploding ketchup and flying pumpkins. Coming up, we show you the drinks delivery service of the very, very, very near future. And a fresh way to avoid stale food. Now, if your favourite delicacies have come under attack from Mickey and the gang here, but you just don't have that violent streak, this rodent trap hack is for you.
This is really clever. If you're looking for a humane way to trap and remove a mouse, I think this is absolutely amazing.
That mouse, just for those brief few moments, knew what it was like to be a tortoise.
Mice actually eat between 15 and 20 times a day, which sounds a lot like my own eating routine when I was writing up my PhD in my kitchen.
But just how dangerous are these house mouse guests to humans?
Mice can multiply incredibly quickly. This is because the female mouse can have up to 15 litters of mice every year. Although mice are incredibly sweet, actually they are quite dangerous to humans. Mice can spread about 35 different diseases onto humans, so although they might be very cute, it's usually the best idea to get rid of them.
Mice are cute, but multiplying mice aren't. This cruelty-free trap gets rid of them without the guilty conscience. A humane hit. If your potato chips have gone soft, the normal course of action is to cry and go to bed. This hack spares you that heartache and brings the crunch back into your life. I think this guy could do with a few microwave cleaning hacks.
I love the care and attention with which the crisps are placed under the grill. It's a bit like Alain Ducasse or Escoffier, the delicacy with which he just chugs them under there.
I think that's great. If you've ever put half a bag of crisps back and left them long enough for them to go stale, which I never have, but any day now.
The reason crisps go stale is that when they're exposed to the air for a long time, they tend to absorb the moisture.
But why is that? Potato chips absorb moisture because they contain starch molecules. Starch is a carbohydrate. It consists of many individual sugar units called glucose, which are joined together in long chains. This starch is very good at absorbing water from the air, which make the potato chips go soft and stale. When you cook the potato chips in the oven, the water evaporates and turns them crisp again. To keep them fresher for longer, store them in an airtight container. This limits the amount of moisture the starch can absorb from the air. Any hack that saves potato chips from being thrown away is an absolute lifesaver for me. A crunchy, munchy hit. If you've finished your chips and just sat down, you'll probably be starting to feel a bit thirsty soon. Don't move, because this hack means you don't have to.
I think this would be a very good method for transporting hot drinks because the rotor blades would cool the drink down on the way to the person, so it would be exactly the right temperature when it reached them.
If you've ever been a waiter, you'll know it's actually quite hard to walk while carrying a tray of drinks, and that's actually because we have a natural rhythm in our step. And what you're doing, it's like pushing a swing backwards and forwards. With every step you take, you help move the water forwards and backwards, and eventually you're going to get to a point where it spills out of the glass.
The way a drone flies is by spinning those rotors around at incredibly high speed, and that pushes air downwards, and that generates a force by Newton's third law. And what that says is that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. By pushing that air down, you push the drone up, and that allows it to get into the air. Drones have been designed to fly with incredible stability, and that's because they're made to do filming. That means that those rotors are really, really carefully calibrated to make sure that even in windy conditions, they can fly along on a nice, straight, even path. So actually, ideal for delivering a cocktail.
I guess the main thing about this hack is that being able to carry drinks in a stable way requires a really good drone operator, and this kid has got it nailed.
I don't believe that I would power the drone, but I am very, very good at lying in a pool and having people bring me drinks, so I'm up for it if it's that side of things.
This futuristic drinks delivery system is a huge hack hit and a great leap forward for ridiculously lazy people everywhere. Over to Hack HQ. The countdown is over and the fuses are lit. There's no cannon too big, no dynamite too strong for Mike to handle. And with his trusty guinea pig Stephen, he'll try anything, so you don't have to. Earlier at Hack HQ, Mike pulverised some pumpkins using high explosives. Now, continuing his vendetta against food and drink, it's time to reveal his epic hack.
Gunpowder, or black powder. 2 bottles of rum. What are we doing today, Mike?
Student party? House party?
We're doing a Navy hack here.
Oh, it's a historical hack.
Inspiration from the Navy.
Okay.
Yeah, back in the 1700s, the Navy couldn't drink water because it all went rancid. They used to drink rum like it was going out of fashion. But they had to test the proof of the rum, the strength of it.
Okay, and they would do that with black powder, would they?
Exactly, so they devised their very own hacks to test it.
Okay, well, I would have thought you could sort of test it by drinking it, which is fun, or even checking the label.
Well, you could do that, yeah.
Yeah, a ship full of drunk sailors is just what the Navy wanted.
But there's a much better way of doing it with gunpowder.
We're going to shoot the rum?
No, we're not going to shoot the rum, but we're going to burn it. We're going to put the rum into the black powder, ignite the fuse, and see what happens.
Okay.
Do you want to give it a go?
Definitely.
Right. Safety glasses on.
Yep, sure.
Right, so I've put the gunpowder in here.
Yep.
I've put a fuse in. All I need to do is get my rum, pour it all over the top of that gunpowder, soaking it completely. And then you're going to light the fuse.
Brilliant.
Ready?
Yeah, sure.
And stand back.
Okay, further?
Further back.
Okay,
Back
more
to
than
here.
that? Right, okay.
Yeah.
Is rum supposed to be flammable?
Rum is very flammable, yeah.
Shall I go further?
Well, I think we're all right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that was wildly disappointing. Ever since I've known you, Mike, it's all been bang, boom, and that was just... What happened?
So, come and have a look here. So the rum is actually alight.
Right.
So there is a bit of rum burning there, but there's not enough alcohol in it, and there's too much water.
So not only is weak rum rubbish to drink, but apparently it doesn't burn very well either. Time to ramp up that strength.
How much alcohol do you need in order for that to actually work?
So it has to be over 57% proof.
So are we going to get a chance to see what happens if it's over 57?
Should we try it?
Definitely.
Okay.
The key to this hack is using a low explosive known as black powder. Despite the confusing name, low explosives burn rather than explode.
OK, so we've got some more black powder, but this time we're going to use stronger rum?
We are indeed. I know that this rum is over 57% proof.
Okay.
So I'm going to pour it on top of this gunpowder.
Right.
You're going to light it, and we'll step back.
OK.
Ready for it?
I don't know.
Well,
it
you can even
smells so good.
smell that it's stronger.
I know.
Right. I'll grab these bottles.
Right.
You light the fuse and we'll...
Ready to go?
Yeah, you go for it.
Oh, shall I get back this time?
Keep coming back.
OK, right.
Keep coming back.
Right, further?
Yeah.
Is this... OK, we've still got some rum left, though, haven't we?
We have got some rum left,
It does
yeah.
smell very
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Here we go. Wow! Happy sailor!
There you go. The proof is in the powder.
Look at that.
So it didn't wet the gunpowder.
All of it.
There's still lots in there, actually. So we'll stay at this distance.
OK, let's do that
we'll
then.
stay at this distance. So the gunpowder ignited really well.
Yes.
So there wasn't enough water in there to wet it completely, and it will continue to burn.
So this is a low explosive because it's burning, whereas with the pumpkins, high explosive because it detonated.
It detonated. It obliterated everything, whereas this just burnt.
OK, and this was genuinely useful to learn the strength of the rum, so this is a proper, bona fide historical hack.
It really is, yeah.
Yes, next time you're at the pub and for some reason don't know the strength of a mysterious spirit, just pull out your barrel of gunpowder and get to work. Yo ho ho and a bottle or two of rum, an exploding pumpkin, and hopefully a good lot of other top tips you can ingest at your leisure. Until next time on How Hacks Work, bon appetit!